Good morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning today in Colorado. Video editing and like post production work is hard. Um, I am definitely coming to learn that now that I'm putting out a few videos. Not that I'm doing any kind of crazy editing for the actual videos. In fact, I'm doing almost no editing. All I'm doing is just clipping footage together. But I don't know, just having to like manage storage on my phone and then transfer footage over to my MacBook and all of that. Like it's just not inherently easy. And I wish I could just like have a cameraman or have somebody who does my media work for me and I could just completely focus on bodybuilding. So maybe one day, maybe eventually, but as of right now, I guess I gotta rock and roll what I'm doing. But we're hitting legs this morning. So far, I have eaten two meals. I've had my bagel meal with some chicken and spinach, and then I've had my pre-workout meal, which is Gerber rice, protein powder, honey, peanut butter, etc. And I've had about a liter of fluid, so I'm definitely feeling full, like fueled, and like ready to go hit legs, right? Because last thing I want to do is try to hit a high energy output lift like legs on an empty stomach. So feeling good. The thought of the day today is not a quote. It's just like more of something that I've been thinking about recently. But I really just feel like general fitness is on the rise. In I don't necessarily want to say my generation, but just like this day and age, I feel like more people are aware of the fact that they need to be doing something. And I think it's great for the future of human beings. I would love to see like 50 years from now, just being active is one of those things that's just generally understood that you have to do. Because I mean, it is just so good for longevity, and there's so many studies that show that if you lift weights into your older age, you maintain your bone density and you have less likelihood of like falling and breaking a hip. Just things like that. So I think it's really cool that just people nowadays are just doing stuff, being active. So but yeah, let's lift. All right. So again, not doing different things each week, just looking to progress in the same lifts, increasing weight, increasing volume across. So back to doing some calf extensions. We were just talking about how the beginning of legs is always kind of slow to start. Um, and I think that's both a mental thing, but also just kind of like, getting your lower body warmed up in general. But then once we hit hamstring curls into leg press, into hack squat, like Ethan said, it's a gauntlet. But last set here. Uh, uh, uh. Copenhagen planks. Probably the thing that smokes my adductors the most, to be honest. I remember Coach and I were talking about how, like, what improvements need to be made to legs, my legs, and one of them was adductors, and I had been doing the adductor machine, and he was like, okay, we're going to introduce something that's going to give you really big adductors. And I was like, okay. So we started doing these, and wouldn't you know, like 4 weeks later, I started to have very visible adductors from the back. So these definitely work. One of the mental cues that Coach has me focus on with the adductor machine is, as you're doing it, it should feel as though the machine is trying to rip you in half. Now, that's not to say you should be allowing the machine to put the load on your joints, but like it should legitimately feel like it's trying to split you down the middle. So, doing some medium heavy weight for a couple of reps, and then we'll hit our set. All right, so it was at this point in time in the workout that I realized that my mic was not working. So here we are hitting our working set of the adductor machine. This has been like a huge, adding this into my training regimen has been a huge change in how my legs, the density of my legs look, especially from the rear. I need to get some sort of like gym pin to add more weight to this because I'm full stacking this machine, just adding reps. I only do one set here, so I'm just adding reps each week. Eventually I'll get a gym pin and start adding like 25, 45 pound plates. And then here, I just wanted to show y'all kind of some ambiance of this old school gym that I go to. Love it. They're super bodybuilding focused. Any hamstring movement has been, I guess, something that I've struggled with. At first, it was a struggle to find the mind muscle connection. And now that I've gotten that down, I guess it's just like they're small and weak in comparison to the rest of my leg. So I'm having a hard time like adding weight to each movement. But I definitely need to slow this down now that I'm looking at the footage of it. Probably need to drop the weight a little bit, slow down my negative, because I am just letting that weight kind of free fall. But overall, I'm happy with it because I'm not really jerking the weight around too terribly much. And then this squat press. Again, this is our third week at 11 plates. I have yet to attempt a 13th rep, right? Because I can't add any more weight to the machine. So at this point, I have to start adding reps. But I'm still too much of a sissy to go for that 13th rep because this thing is brutal. This is a killer exercise. I wish my mic was working because during this exercise, I mean, you hear how much I'm struggling through these reps. So talking a little bit about my technique here, right? So at the top side of the lift, so right here, I am inhaling, and then as I go into that negative, I'm letting all the air out of my lungs, allowing my abdomen and midsection to kind of compress under the weight. And it just gives some more space for those quads to come down towards my body, getting me a deeper total rep. But, I mean, yeah, you can just tell by the redness of my head, this is a killer set. Having a hard time getting that 10th, 11th, and 12th rep. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I don't want to have to deal with microphones and cameras and shit. I want to be able to just lift. Oh. I did. I moved it for me, then I moved it back for you. All right, so that was a really good lift. Um, like I kind of alluded to in the intro, I'm not a cameraman, not a media guy. So sorry for the mic dying in the middle of the workout. Still getting used to this whole thing, but I will get better as we continue forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, my main focus is always the lift, right? It's always bodybuilding. So I'm not always thinking about like, oh, is my mic on? Is the camera angle right? But we'll get there. Yeah, like I said, lift was really good. Legs felt great all around. Um, I did throw a belt on for my set of squat press. Probably the first time I've worn a belt in months, but I really just like when you're moving that kind of load, at some point you do have to start thinking about like how you're bracing. And just today when I was bracing for my warm up sets, I just like I don't know. I felt good, but I was just like, let me throw a belt on. Let me see how that feels. And it felt better. So, belt will probably be here to stay for the leg lifts. Um, but yeah, we got push tomorrow, hitting chest. Super excited about that. Also, no posing session today because tomorrow morning we're going to hit an extended posing session, hoping to throw in some footage of that. I think every weekend when I do my posing sessions, I'm going to kind of in that weekend video throw in like my weekly update for my show prep, right? So again, tomorrow is going to be a big video. It's going to be posing, meal prep, lift, and then bodybuilding update, so all of that. So super excited and glad to have y'all with me.